Welcome to Get BT Express Part 2. We have 4 questions. Question 1. A UV visible spectrophotometer has a minimum detectable absorbance of 0.02. The minimum concentration of protein that can be measured reliably in this instrument with a cuvette of 1 cm path length is dash micromolar. The molar extinction coefficient of the protein is 1 into 10 raised to the power 4 liter over mole centimeter. So we start by writing down the formula. So formula is A say A is equal to epsilon times C times L. This is from the Lambert-Beer law, where A is the absorbance, epsilon molar extinction coefficient, C is the concentration, L is the path length. So given A 0.002. So 0.02 is equal to epsilon 10 raised to the power 4 liter over mole times centimeter concentration times path length 1 centimeter. So 0.02 is 2 into 10 raised to the power negative 2 to 10 power 4 liter per mole into concentration. So the value of the concentration is 2 into 10 raised to the power negative 2 over 10 to the power 4 mole per liter. So it's 2 into 10 raised to the power negative 6 mole per liter is molarity. So the minimum concentration of protein that can be measured reliably in this instrument with a cuvette of 1 centimeter is 2 micromolar, provided the molar extinction coefficient, the epsilon value of the protein is 10 power 4 liter over mole centimeter. Now second question. The difference in concentrations of an uncharged solute between two compartments is 1.6 fold. Energy required for active transport of solute across membrane separating two components is dash calorie per mole, rounded off to nearest integer, where R is equal to 1.987 calorie over mole Kelvin and temperature is equal to 37 degree Celsius. So the energy required for active transport. So the energy required for transport, that is delta G. Say we are going to transport a solute, say I, from compartment 1 to compartment 2. Let us assume the concentration of the I in compartment 1 is Ci1 and in second compartment Ci2. It has been provided that the difference in concentration of a uncharged solute, say I, between the two compartments is 1.6 fold. That is Ci2 over Ci1 is equal to 1.6. We know that delta G transfer, that is energy required for transfer, is equal to RT ln Ci2 over Ci1. The value of R is 1.987 calorie per mole times Kelvin. Temperature is 37 degrees Celsius, which is 37 plus 273 Kelvin. So it's 310 Kelvin. Therefore, delta G transfer TR is equal to R 1.987 times 310 unit calorie per mole times ln of 1.6, that is Ci2 over Ci1 ratio is 1.6 fold. Therefore delta G transfer is equal to 289.50 calorie per mole. So in calorie per mole, we found the delta G transfer, that is energy required for active transport, is 289.5 calorie per mole. Third question, the molecular mass of a protein is 22 kDa. The size of a cDNA excluding untranslated region that codes for protein is dash kb, rounded off to 1 decimal place. So given the molecular mass of the protein is 22 kDa, molecular weight 22,000, Dalton is gram per mole, and the size of the cDNA has to be found. So we know the mass, that is the molecular weight of one amino acid, that is on average it's 121 Dalton, 121 gram per mole. So we can get number of amino acids, say n, is equal to the molecular weight of the protein divided by the average molecular mass of one amino acid, which is equal to 181.8. So the protein contains nearly 181.8 amino acids, that is n is equal to 182 amino acids. And we know a triplet code gives rise to one amino acid, that is 3 bases fit to the ribosome, 3 bases in the mRNA, that is the codon, fits to the ribosome, and due to complementarity between the codon mRNA and anticodon tRNA, the corresponding amino acid would be inserted in the ribosome machinery by the process of translation. So 3 bases of mRNA will give rise to one amino acid. So therefore, for 182 amino acid to be encoded, we need 182 times 3, which is equal to 546 bases or the nucleotides. So the size of cDNA must be at least 546 bases or B. So it's in kb, means 546 base pair divided by 1000, it's in kb, that is 0.546 kb. So approximately the cDNA has to be 0.5 to 0.6 kb in length. So fourth question, yeast biomass, say C6H10O3N grown on glucose, is described by glucose, 1 mole of glucose giving rise to plus 0.48 ammonia plus 3 oxygen giving rise to 0.48 moles of the yeast biomass plus 3.12 moles of carbon dioxide being generated plus 4.32 moles of water vapor. The amount of glucose needed for production of 50 gram per liter of yeast biomass in a batch reactor with a working volume of 1 lakh liter is dash kg. So we need to find the amount of glucose that is required to produce 50 gram per liter of yeast. So let's start by finding the molecular mass. From the equation given, we know 1 mole of glucose giving rise to 0.48 grams of yeast, say 0.48 moles of yeast. And the molecular mass of glucose is 180 gram per mole. So it's 180 grams of glucose giving rise to we need to find the molecular mass of yeast. So C6H10O3N, 6 into 12 plus 10 into 1 plus 3 into 16 plus 14, giving rise to 144 grams per mole of yeast. So 1 mole of yeast weighs 144 gram. Therefore 0.48 moles of yeast will weigh say 69.12 grams. That is 0.48 moles multiplied by 144 gram per mole. So we got the expression, say 180 grams of glucose will give rise to 69.12 grams of yeast, and we need to make say 50 gram per liter of yeast. So to produce 50 grams of yeast, x grams of glucose is required. Therefore x grams of glucose can be found by 50 over 69.12 times 180 grams of glucose, which is equal to 130.2 grams of glucose. So nearly 130 grams of glucose is required. This has been done using the base is 1 liter. So if base is 1 liter, nearly 130.2 gram per liter of glucose will give rise to 50 gram per liter of yeast. From this expression, say x grams of glucose will give rise to 50 grams yeast. Therefore 130 gram per liter of glucose will give rise to 50 gram per liter of yeast, but the working volume is 1 lakh liter. We know concentration of glucose is 130.2 gram per liter based on our assumption, that is basis is 1 liter, which is equal to mass over volume. We need to know the mass of glucose. Therefore mass is equal to concentration times volume, which is 130.2 gram per liter times 1 lakh liter. So it's 130.2 grams into 10 raised to the power 6. So mass is equal to 130.2 into 10 raised to the power 3 kg, which is equal to 130,200. 10 gets cancelled out due to decimal place, kg. Therefore the mass of glucose required is nearly 1 lakh liters is 10 power 5 liter. So it's 10 power 5. Therefore we get 10 square 100. So the mass of glucose required to produce 50 gram per liter of yeast is 13020 kg, nearly 13,000 kg. So we end by writing down the formula and the answer we found. So for first question we use the Lambert-Beer law. A is equal to epsilon times concentration times path length, and we got an answer, say 2 micromolar. And for the second problem we use the formula delta G transfer, which is equal to RT ln concentration of the solute in compartment 2 over the concentration of solute in compartment 1. and we got the value delta G is equal to 289.50. And for the third question, we just use the assumption, say the average molecular mass of one amino acid is 121 Dalton, and triplet code, one amino acid is coded by 3 bases, and we arrived at the answer, say 0.5 to 0.6 kb of cDNA will code for a protein of molecular mass 22 kDa. And for the yeast biomass, we found the molecular mass of yeast, and we found the grams of glucose that is required to get, say 50 grams of yeast. And assuming a basis of, say 1 liter, we found that nearly 130.2 grams per liter concentration of glucose is essential to get yeast of concentration 50 gram per liter. And finally we multiplied by volume to get the value mass of glucose is equal to 13,020 kg. So mass of glucose required is 13,020, where we use the formula concentration is mass over volume. Thank you.